Remember in the last video on the Switch 2 that I made where I said, is the Nintendo Switch 2 worth it? In my wholehearted opinion, without any filter, as a Nintendo nigga, no. Yeah, so if you remember in that video, Retro basically came up after me and started talking about the whole Nintendo Switch tariffs thing regarding the United States and how that's going to affect us and our wallets. And you know, after hearing what she had to say, I was kind of convinced off of what she was saying, you know what I mean? You know, I thought about it more, and long story short, I bought one. You know, it only made sense considering this damn machine might actually end up being twice its retail price. Plus, it's a good point to start forming new memories. So what better thing to do than to unbox it and see everything that you and I need to know. One thing I know for sure is that the camera, you absolutely don't need. Surprisingly, for all the security Nintendo has on this system, they are perfectly okay with you using your phone or an external webcam for their supposedly proprietary facecam gameplay stuff. This stuff was figured out day one. And on that topic, I also found out that Nintendo's two recommended cameras, the normal and Piranha Plant ones, are actually different. While there's nothing wrong with this pretty decent 1080p camera for sharing your face, you'll realize it's pretty boring. That's where the Piranha Plant one comes into play, because of course you would want the cooler looking camera for your setup. It fits right in with the rest of your Nintendo and video gaming merch, except oops, it's actually a Hori camera as detailed on the box, and instead of 1080p, you actually sacrifice a little bit of quality down to 720p. I mean, it won't matter that much. Your friends will really only be at the bottom of the screen, away from the important stuff, but for those who do care, there definitely is a difference. You might just want to stick with your iPhones for this one. Honestly, this is the first time that I'm actually doing an unboxing, and if I sound a little different, it's because this was recorded a little bit different. It's a different time in which I'm doing the recording for each of these pieces, just because of how my schedule works. I am also sick. Alright, let's move this out the way first, so that we can actually get to the console itself, which, honestly, you know, the quality of Nintendo Switch boxes, you know, even for the Switch 1, pretty consistently good. The only thing that bugs me, I got the Mario Kart edition, and there's not like special art for it. It's really just a sticker, and I do mean legitimately. It is a sticker that they slapped on at Nintendo HQ. See that? That can. Let me put this closer. That is a sticker. That's not even like a specific piece of art. This is just the Switch 2 box art with a Mario Kart sticker on top. I do feel that that's a little bit lazy, but they'll probably end up doing something special for the holidays for this kind of thing, at least I hope. Okay, well, let's go ahead and pop it open real quick and see just what's inside. Yeah, so opening the Switch 2 is pretty reminiscent of opening the Switch 1. We take the bottom flap right here, and if there wasn't tape on it, just peel it back. Since there is tape, let me go get some scissors. Yep, scissors makes my job a whole lot easier. Just put that to the side there, and open it from the bottom, just like the last Switch. And here it is. This is what the opening experience kind of looks like. If you fold this up slightly, we'll see how the Switch 2 Joy-Cons are kind of packaged off to the side, as opposed to in the Switch 1 package being kind of just dead set here. The Switch is also, of course, front and center, the tablet itself. And wow, this is actually, even just looking at it, quite a bit bigger than the Switch 1. Let me go get my Switch 1 for comparison. Give me 1 second. Alright, so comparing the Switch 1 and Switch 2 tablet, I mean, that's about like a 10 to 20% size increase. I mean, this really does feel like a heftier tablet. Now, of course, this isn't like an iPad or anything. This is really similar to the size and feel of something like an early Kindle from back in the 2010s. So for parents looking for size or trying to see if there's anything specific that this brings to the table that might be different from other tablets, just think about that particular size is what we're looking at here. Here we can also see the inside. These are the connector pieces for the Switch 2 Joy-Cons right here, blue and red respectively, so that you can actually see which Joy-Con goes into which place. And an interesting thing about the Joy-Con 2s when you do connect them into the Switch 2 is that you can actually connect them backwards and upside down without disrupting the technology of the Joy-Cons. On the Switch 1, if you turned it around, and yes, I do have the Splatoon color, of course I do. On the Switch 1, if you were to try to slide these in like this, the Switch Joy-Cons would get stuck, and it would be a big hassle and hullabaloo to try to get rid of or eject the Joy-Cons again, because they were just going on the wrong way. That's a very easy mistake that children can obviously make all the time, and working in a game store myself, it's a problem we see very frequently that we are technically not allowed to fix because we could end up damaging the system. So the shift to magnetic technology actually helps Nintendo in this case because it saves a lot of heartache on parents and on game store employees from trying to figure out how in the world to get those Switch Joy-Cons off of the system itself. That is very satisfying. I mean, that click is extremely satisfying. And of course, this does not move. You cannot. I am a kid. Yo, we're complaining about how kids can just throw this and yank this. This shit is not coming off. That's not moving. That is not moving. Like, these are like neodymium magnets, I believe, inside of here. I could be wrong. They might not be neodymium, but they are very, very, very strong magnets. I mean, literally. A kid will be flopping and throwing this around and it will not break the system. The only way to have the Joy-Con 2s come off from, all of this racketing right around here is to use the button here on the back. Let me put this in better frame right here. So on both of the Joy-Con 2s, there is a button right back here on the back, very similar to how they looked on the Joy-Cons. Here's an old Joy-Con for comparison. It was just a button right here that you would use to kind of help release the Joy-Con from the system. Here, it's a button that you would press in, just like so. You press this in and it just automatically releases. Really what's happening is I believe this pin is pushing from right here on the inside. And another concern was this right here, this piece right here, the concern about it breaking. Kids will be able to put their finger in here. As an adult, I'm putting my finger in. This thing is sturdy. It does not feel like this will break over something very easily. Of course, if you were to stick something like hard and metal into there, like, I don't know, if you find your kid, getting into a bunch of big metal pieces and trying to wedge that off and snap it, it probably will break under that kind of pressure, but it would take a significant amount of time, in which case you could probably intervene or in some ways just stop this from happening. But that is still somewhat of a concern. This is not an easy snap, but it can snap. So just like how, the screen is not easily broken, but it can break. This is a very, very hefty screen, hefty system. I mean, this feels very, very comfortable. The Joy-Cons are not nearly as uncomfortable to play around with as they were on the Switch 1. And I have, pretty decently large hands for that. Real quick, I also want to do a Joy-Con size comparison. This is about the size we're looking at. The thickness, as you can see, is really not much different from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. But of course, the size in of itself in comparison is just that extra 10 to 20% larger. I'm holding them in around about the same area at the bottom so that you can see that height difference there. And again, that thickness, not much different here. There is a little bit more depth, though, in these buttons, which allows for greater comfort. There's not as big of a dead zone where you might miss or graze the side of the trigger here on the back, which happened to me a lot, and I'm sure to a bunch of other people with larger hands. And especially kids, kids run around and get sweaty and everything, and then they want to play their Switch. The last thing they want to do is press buttons and have their fingers slipping and sliding all over the buttons. To have these deeper buttons that feel a little bit more high quality with a nice matte finish so that it's not as shiny and slippery, that allows for a little bit better stability and grip when it comes to just playing the system. All right, so let's go ahead and continue unboxing this experience. And right here, you can actually kind of see a little bit peeking through the packaging. And let me try to see if I can make it so it's not so reflective. But there is a little emblem right here, indicative of Mario Kart. So I believe this can be unfolded. Let me try to unfold it real quick. Oh, well, that's actually extremely easy. And here is that Mario Kart Tour code. Of course, by the time this goes out public, all of this has already been used up, so there's really no reason to try to get this code off of me. You see, your boy is definitely hopping into Mario Kart later this video. But of course, there's also the health and safety information here on the inside of the box that just kind of gives you the whole rundown of the system itself. Of course, the things to look out for: don't put it in water, don't leave it out in the sun, that kind of, fun stuff that you would typically not want to do with most electronics anyways. Of course, in here, we've also got the cable. This is the power cable. Actually, no, wait, this one's the HDMI. Oh, I'm stupid. This is the HDMI cable. The power cable's down here, and I can see that now. But the HDMI cable, of course, they'll always include an HDMI cable. And then here are the straps. These are what are going to allow you to get that nice, sleek mouse feel on the Joy-Cons. And let me demonstrate that real quick. So these are very similar in concept to their Joy-Con 1 counterparts, where you would slide a piece over to give you a little bit more comfort when it comes to pressing in the SL and SR buttons. As you can see, these are the SL and SR buttons respectively. And right here is one of the readers for your mouse controls when you get around to that. This here is the sync button, which is, of course, standard across all the Joy-Cons. And this little area right here, as I was showing before, is the ejection pin. You can see that kind of ejecting there. Now, to give you a little bit more of a close-up view on the anatomy of the Joy-Con 2 right here, we've got these little indents on the top and here on the bottom. And these are where the little connection piece here with the strap are going to connect to. There's a little bit of not really difficulty, but if you're doing this wrong like I was, then you'll easily see where your mistake was. You don't put in the top first, you put in the bottom first, and the top just goes right on pretty easily. Just like that, you've made a little bit more comfort for the grip there, but also when it comes to mouse controls, made it nice and smooth here on the bottom. Of course, these act very similarly to the bottom pads of a mouse, a real mouse right here. Very, very similar, so that they can glide along surfaces like this, and even other kinds of surfaces like your hand or, your pants, although you can't see that. Very, very smooth, very, very comfortable. This reminds me a lot of ergonomic mouses, those weird ones that kind of look like seashells almost. Yeah, it's kind of got that feel with the right and left click. I will say, trying to kill two birds with one stone with this kind of controller, there is a little bit of cramp, right? You can very comfortably on a computer mouse set your middle finger and index finger on both respective buttons. On the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, it's doable. It's definitely doable. Really, if you've got the hand size of someone who's like a teenager or a child, you won't really have too much problem. You won't really feel that big of a difference between going to a mouse and to a Joy-Con 2 controller. Of course, it depends on your hand size. But for someone like me, there is a little bit of difference, and I think when it comes to me using the mouses, I'll just have to use my index finger going back and forth and back and forth. I'm sure I could get used to this kind of layout with both fingers, and it's not that big of a stretch. Remember, that deeper button here, that deeper trigger is, and let me put that towards that deeper trigger does allow for a little bit more space with clicking. So you do have that ability to make it a mouse. Very fun. Joystick on the side, buttons on the side. I can see a lot of games being very intricate and complex with this kind of design, namely Splatoon. That's still one that I'm waiting for. And of course, removing that extra strap is pretty easy. You just pull from the bottom, or actually, sorry, you pull from the top, and there you go. Alright, and the rest of the box is all the rest of the meat and potatoes. So right here, as you can kind of see through the styrofoam, is the grip, which the Joy-Con 2s will slot into. Of course, they also have those little slots and everything along the inside to make that feel comfortable. Now, of course, on the Switch 1, there were these ridges along here that would keep the Joy-Cons stable in place. But on the Switch 2, you don't need that. You just go ahead and slide them right in. There are magnets here, but they do feel noticeably a little weaker than they do on the system, but they are definitely still there. Maybe I am placebo affecting myself. And there we go. Oh, the size of this controller is so much better than it ever was on the Switch 1. This is a perfectly sizable, serviceable controller for all of your normal gaming needs. It does, of course, feel a little bit cheap because this is just straight up plastic and not like the high quality metal or the highest quality plastic as everything else. But it's still pretty damn high quality. And actually, comparable to most other controllers, even in terms of the size. Like, most people probably wouldn't really complain that much about this. Really, the only difference being the shallowness of the Joy-Con 2s themselves, which, I mean, isn't that much different from the Switch 1. I'm actually willing to even go so far as to compare it to the PlayStation controller. That is not a size compromise at all, really. Like, the PlayStation controller juts out a little bit farther in the hand-holding area right here with the grip, and of course, it is a deeper controller, you know, by comparison to the thickness of the controller, but the actual size and the width of the buttons, that's pretty comparable. I mean, I would say that that's actually a comfortable controller design. Not the most comfortable, but still relatively comfortable nonetheless. And continuing as we go deeper into the box, we end up getting to, this is the charger. And of course, like I was saying before, where is the brick? It's just a C. It's a C2C with Nintendo's branding on it. Well, the brick is now not a required part of the entire package. I mean, it kind of is. I have heard horror stories of people's systems not charging if they're not using Nintendo's proprietary charger. I don't even know how they would do something like that. I mean, I'm sure it actually is true, but you know, of course, knowing Nintendo, it probably really is true. But of course, having the Nintendo-themed brick and the cable, I mean, all of this, very nice, very sleek, very high quality. Let me just move this to center frame. Very sleek, very nice, very high quality. Yeah, really no big complaints with how it works. And bonus points if it can actually charge my phone and stuff, because I need some more Type-C bricks. So, awesome. Okay, so finally diving into the bottom of the box. After lifting one flap, we can actually get to the dock in of itself, which is the last part of the package. And that's hefty. That's hefty. That is eons more stable than the Switch 1 dock by comparison. I mean, that is so much thicker. It's a lot larger. It's a lot more thoughtful too. The way this comes off is way more thoughtful than it ever was on the Switch 1. Even the OLED, like wow, this is just a full stop upgrade. On the inside here, let me move this a little bit more comfortably to the camera. On the inside here, we can see where there's supposed to be some inserts for each of the cables. You got down here your Ethernet, and then up here you've also got your HDMI all the way up to your Type-C charger. So you've got a pretty good array or range of cables that can go into this thing. But there's also some thoughtful design for air intake, because on the bottom of this dock right here, these are the air intake holes. They will intake air from the bottom of the system, and then, of course, the system itself will filter out the air and push it out the top of the system where it has more air vents. But there's also more vents here for further ventilation with the cables, as well as, if you look right down there, you can kind of start to see where some of the light's poking through. Yeah, that's air intake right there. Very, very nice. I guess ergonomic to the console type of thing here. Your cables won't get hot or really anything like that. I do know when the Switch 1 was first coming out, people were complaining that putting their Switch in a dock was scraping their screen, and they were getting really unhappy about that. I don't know. Let me see the clearance on that. All right, so we'll just go ahead and insert it here. No, quite a bit of the system actually pokes out here, and there is a pretty wide amount of wiggle room if I line this right up here between where the system sits and any of the screens. So they've addressed that issue pretty decently, although if you can find one without a front side on it, it's still probably going to be better for you. I mean, though it's not scraping like really at all unless I intentionally try to push it up against the front of it, having a dock that doesn't have this front-facing side can save your screen. But I don't think that there will be that many issues so long as you're not messing around with and fiddling with the Switch itself. The sliding in and sliding out shouldn't be putting that many scratches or dents onto your system, all things considered. And no, you can't put the new Switch or the old Switch into the new dock and have it work. I don't even think it doesn't even fit. It won't even fit in there. So there's not any like, oh, let me try to cheat the system and give myself a 1080p upgrade, little cheat code or whatever with the old Switch. It just simply will not fit. It'll slide right out. Oh, something else I just noticed over here. There's 2 more USB ports along the backside here. So you can run a lot of things into this. There's a lot going on here. And, there is this little opening right here for your cable management. You just put the cables in and string them down here. For most people, they'll probably take this off and never put it back on again and just have these cables all mess right back here. But it is nice to know that there is some thoughtful design behind putting cables in and having a nice managed space. And taking it off doesn't require fingernails either. You can just put literally just straight up, I'm just putting my finger in, no fingernails. Putting my finger in, boom, pull it right off, no problem. Very easy, very nice, very considerate for people who don't have nails. And I believe the NFC functionality for the Switch 2 works a lot like it did on the Switch 1. So for when it comes to amiibo cards and amiibos, see, I have Mr. Greedy Moneybags himself right here. When it comes to that, I believe it is still on the left joystick, if I'm not mistaken. So you would just tap here, and of course, I'll get to the Pro Controller here in just 1 second. Right away, there's probably some questions about whether or not this is compatible with the Switch 1, or if the Switch 1 Pro Controller is compatible with the Switch 2. And to my knowledge, no, and I will explain why once I open this here. Right away, I can tell that the tape is pretty tight. I did have to take some time to try to cut that. As you can see, I did mark up the box in the process. But I don't care that much about the Pro Controller box, so that doesn't matter much to me. Actually slides out pretty easily. Not bad. And there's nothing else left in here, so we can just take this away. Okay. Very nice compact packaging. Another C to C. Oh, actually, no, it's a USB-A to C. Interesting. In a world where we're moving away from USB-A to C, I'm surprised that they're actually still using the USB-A to C. I mean, of course, we're not like fully out of it, but I would have thought that Nintendo would have jumped on the trend and made a C to C like PlayStation has, but guess not. Okay, I really, really, really like the finish of this controller right here. It is a full gray controller right here. So we've got gray on the top and then gray on the insides of the joysticks here. And of course the buttons. That is very premium feeling. This is a very, oh my God, that is so smooth. Holy, I was not expecting that. This is a very, very smooth experience for the Pro Controller. Extremely, extremely smooth. I mean, like that. By comparison to my PlayStation controller, let me get that real quick. And the PlayStation's Joy-Cons, they're extremely smooth. These are really ultra smooth. Very nice. And of course, the triggers are the smoothest triggers I've ever felt on a controller. I will say, Nintendo does like clickier triggers. So we won't be seeing too many haptic feedback games involving the triggers to the extent that the PlayStation has perfected them at. But by comparison to last generation's Pro Controller for the Switch 1, this is extremely smooth, very, very weightless, particularly when moving the joysticks themselves. They feel very buttery, very smooth, very weightless. Buttons have that very classic Nintendo click to them, not like a hard tactile, like a keyboard click, but it's actually, by comparison to these keyboard buttons here, very comparable in terms of their click. Not just like this tick, tick, tick clicky, but more of like a soft press, which I think for most games where you're going to be button mashing, like Super Smash Brothers or, Street Fighter 6, since that was also a launch title, these are very responsive. And the triggers are also very responsive to reflect that kind of style of play, which I think Nintendo wants to further propagate. Whereas Sony wants to do more storytelling, and so having triggers that are more adept for storytelling makes the most sense for PlayStation controllers. Honestly, I champion this design. Not over PlayStation, but in a completely different realm. I think that they fulfill their purposes with exactly the intent that they were trying to. And I mean, hey, the fun part is this comes with a headphone jack. That is an awesome addition to add. Of course, there is the chat feature as well, of course, which, I'll talk about here in a moment. And of course the D-pad, you can roll the D-pad as you have been able to on most controllers for now. Although I will say the rolling experience on the D-pad for the Switch is a lot better than the rolling experience ever was on the PlayStation. That glossiness just adds that little bit of resistance onto my fingers. For certain games, I understand it. But when it comes to fighting games, I want to be able to roll around the joystick, or around the D-pad, so that I have a little bit more control of things like quarter circle turns and things of that sort. So fast inputs can be input with the most amount of precision without getting caught up on one button over the other and messing up my flow of combos. This does not have any of that because of that matte finish. It allows the fingers to slide without giving them like an unrestricted off the controller. Though the entire controller is matte, it does feel like there's enough resistance here to keep the fingers on the buttons that you intend to press, which I think is really good design. Now I will say, compared to the old Switch 1 controller, there are some differences, especially with, if I move this close to the camera, you are losing the translucency so that you could see through a little bit onto the internals of the controller. Unfortunately, if you were a fan of that, they opted for a full matte finish all the way around, so you're not going to be really seeing any part of the internals of the controller. But there is, of course, that quality change from the last generation controller to the current generation controller. And nothing sells that more than, of course, the button clickiness. I mean, when I feel how the controller buttons feel on the last generation, of course, this is a worn controller, but when I feel it and when I listen to it, this just feels like a more bricky controller by comparison to this very nice and smooth, high-quality controller. You can especially hear it in the sticks. When it comes to fighting games, I mean, it's a no-brainer. This is so much better. Let me go ahead and demonstrate. These sticks, that's a rattle you don't want to hear. Yeah, very clicky, especially if you were in a closed environment like an apartment, or if you were at a venue with a bunch of people playing Super Smash Bros. You would hear a lot of that clicking, like all over the place. Now compare that to the Switch 2. Oh yeah, I mean, I could barely hear that, and I was putting it right next to my face. I mean, that's very, very considerate, especially of closed spaces like that. This is one of those things that you are going to want to have with your gaming setup to make it so much more quiet, so much more considerate. And especially in Japanese apartments, where I'm told that the walls are extremely thin in apartment complexes, this is so much more considerate of people in those kinds of living conditions as well. I do eventually expect that to wear down with time, as most controllers do get a little bit worse with time. I mean, that just makes the most sense here. But the reason that I wanted to bring up the Switch 2 controller by comparison to the Switch 1 controller is the addition of the GL and GR buttons here on the back, which are not present in the old. Right here we have the GL and GR buttons respectively, and these are your back buttons, very akin to triggers, back triggers for your middle finger to play with on certain games. All third-party gaming controllers for almost every other system include those back triggers on the back for your middle fingers. That's one of those trends that's starting to become a really, really popular thing. And when it comes to button remapping, and as well as with just normal gameplay, having that extra freedom similar to what you have on a fancy keyboard here, that's what helps to further enrich the gaming experience for certain players. But it also adds for accessibility as well. The amount of people that play games that don't have an index finger, that have missed it, are missing an index finger for some kind of medical reason or an accident, having the ability to play and remap your triggers to these back buttons here, that's a very big thing. And so if you don't have your index fingers to play with, you can understand how that would be a very uncomfortable stretch. So the inclusion of these on a Pro Controller, on a standard Nintendo Pro Controller, one that is branded by Nintendo, I mean, that's a pretty nice ask. That we didn't even really technically ask for it; they just did it. I will say though, it is an extra $80 to purchase this thing right here. This is another $80 charge onto an already expensive system with expensive games. So it's not necessarily a necessity, but for the way that I play games, it absolutely is. And of course, just like last time, with the Switch 1 Pro Controller, the NFC chip is right here on the middle of the Switch 2 controller, right where the logo is. So for Amiibos and Amiibo cards, that's where you're going to want to put those. And yeah, that just kind of really wraps up the whole unboxing experience for the Switch 2. Now we're going to transfer everything over to setting this all up and putting it on the dock to put on the screen to play some Mario Kart, because that's what we are actually here for, is to see if Mario Kart is actually worth 80 to 90 bucks. Hey, and straight away we are introduced to the language selection on the screen. Of course, you know, I obviously speak Japanese. Of course not. Let's get into English, all right? Although it is quite an interesting assortment of languages. I'm not sure if this is all the same languages from before. There might be some differences here as assortment, but of course, I live in the U.S. We're going with this one. And of course, I am from the Americas. We always have to accept the end user license agreement, although it is a little bit of a bitter pill, a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow here. Somewhat poor taste in the mouth based upon how Nintendo's doing some of their game services, but yes, we do agree to that. Alright, next we're going to connect to the internet, and you guys don't have to see this part. After bypassing the internet screen, we go ahead and download the update data, of which it's going to ask us what our time zone is, and of course, living on the East Coast, we're going to find the closest to East Coast, which is going to be the New York, Montreal, and Toronto. There we go, just like so. And then with that, with a Nintendo Switch, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. And of course, showcasing the different ways you can, of course, in fact, play video games. Of course, it's showing you about the whole ins and outs, how to detach the Joy-Cons and everything like that. All that stuff I've already shown off, so that's not entirely super important. Awesome. System update complete, so we will go ahead and continue. Now, I do have a Nintendo Switch. I don't intend to transfer everything from my Switch 1 to my Switch 2. I am still going to be using my Switch 1 up until they stop doing service for the Switch 1. And so I'm actually perfectly okay leaving all of the current data on my old Nintendo Switch 1, because I intend for my next new experiences to be on the Switch 2. And also I know that the internet I have here at home just is not powerful enough to send all of that stuff in a timely manner. So we're going to go ahead and skip the system transfer. I can do this again in the options if I want to later on. I don't have to be locked in right now. Let's add a user. Absolutely, we will. I will sign into my Nintendo account, however, because I still want some information to be carried on over. And the setup is complete. Go to the home menu by pressing the home button right here. Boom. There we go. That's actually pretty welcome. A pretty welcome transfer over to the Switch 2. I was not expecting there to be any personality on this part right here. From here, you can re-download and play purchase downloadable games and content onto your account. Okay, cool. All that fun stuff and everything here. So this is all stuff that you guys are probably well familiar with, by the way, or by now at least, especially considering that this is coming out a little bit later than I wanted it to. But here we are. This is the home menu, which lacks as much personality as it did before. Although there's a little bit more with some animations, which I think is a nice quality upgrade, although we don't need to have necessarily the exact same setup. I still think that there's a little bit of missed opportunity here when it comes to all of that fun stuff. But seeing all of these different animations is at least pretty freaking cool. So from here, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to take the code that I got and put in Mario Kart. Alright, so this is an interesting thing that just popped up here when trying to get the Mario Kart code, is that they do need to be linked, the Nintendo Switch 2 to the Nintendo Switch 1. And this can actually be done wirelessly and pretty much almost instantly if we just bring the system close, and it says systems are close enough. And it should try to, let's see. Oh, okay, so it's going to have me do some directions. Do the following to the other system. Open the virtual cards, which I'm doing over here on the other system. And then when the on-screen guide appears, select link. And what it's showing me, the options that it's showing me, which you guys can't see, are things like Splatoon 3 and then the Splatfest for the world premiere of Splatoon 3 alongside Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and then Pac-Man and Mario Kart Live, which is the little home circuit little guy right there. And then let's see here. We'll just go ahead and we can move some virtual cards over. I actually completely forgot that Splatoon on my on my system is download code as well. But they are linking. They are now in connection with one another, and they're going to be sharing some data back and forth. Oh, there we go. Just like that. That was extremely quick. Awesome. Mario Kart World is successfully loaded in. Now, as we can see here, I've already started downloading some things here from my old system. Although I did not, and I want to repeat, I did not do a full system transfer. I just bought over some games that were digital download anyways, that I do play occasionally. Overwatch 2, not so much, but definitely Minecraft, Splatoon, and of course, Mario Kart World, which let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get it. Oh man, it feels so good getting back into gaming and stuff like this. It's been a long time since I got platinum points to collect. Oh snap.
Mario Kart World!
Hey, there he goes. Yeah. Oh heck yeah. Diner. Okay, we going to eat. Oh no, it's just okay. That's how we get into it. Okay, LNR to start. Awesome. Okay, so we got the standard things for Mario Kart, of course: single player, multiplayer, online play, wireless play, and then we also got things like the stickers, the map, the manual. What are these stickers talking about here? Oh. So for just starting up, you get a bonus right here of what it looks to be 14 different stickers right over here. And it looks like there's a ton more to collect. Okay. Of course, there's the map, which is showing us the whole world overview right here. And I'm guessing we pick up characters based upon where it is that we want to go to. So, of course, the closest to us is going to be your boy Luigi. And then as we keep spreading out, it's going to get to be a little bit more niche. You know what I'm saying? Way out over here, we got Wario by the shipwreck. Down here, we got Pauline by the cities. You know, up here towards the north where, you know, we got the little Bowser's cat. We got Bowser, of course. And then, of course, down here, we go around. We got our boy Yoshi over here. You know what I'm saying? Baby Peach, all that stuff. Okay, let's get into it. I'm not going to spend too much time, you know, messing around and anything. Let's single player this joint. Grand Prix, we got knockout tours, which are just some knockout races. You know, if you're caught behind a certain position, you get eliminated from the round. Time trials, normal as usual, versus races, that's pretty much normal. You can just kind of set whatever tracks you want to go to. And then battles, which I'm really excited to see how they're going to work in this game, but I'm probably not going to get into it in this video. I don't know. We'll have to see how long a Grand Prix takes. If it doesn't take too long, we'll go through a Grand Prix. We'll probably do a versus race or something like that, and then a battle. Let's get it. Oh, no, it allows us to do everybody from the bat. Almost everybody. Okay. So we got, I caught a glimpse of something. Okay, so we got all the standard Mario characters right here. You know what I'm saying? Pauline being in the top 4 is a little bit different than it usually is, but hey, there she is. We got the babies. We got Bowser, of course, with his new haircut, looking slick. Bro just came straight from the barber shop. You see him, bro. He over here having himself a ho-hum day, bro. Wario over here looking greedy. Look at him doing his little Wario waddle back and forth. And, of course, our boy Yoshi. We love Yoshi. Everybody here loves Yoshi. You know what I'm saying? Only the best Mario character there is. Literally, the reason Mario is even alive today is because of Yoshi. So, you know, you carry the whole brand on your back, Yoshi. And Toad. Just being Toad. And of course, we go through here, we get some of the more niche characters. We got my boy Nabbit. I absolutely love Nabbit as a character. He's pretty cool. Shrouded in mystery, but you know, just a little rapscallion, you know what I mean? And we got other things too, like the cow for some reason, and a parabitty bug. Really? Really? This is what we doing. I saw this here too. Goomba? How in the world do they expect Goomba to drive a car? I'm actually like, low key, I might pick Goomba. He can't drive. Neither can the Bitty Bud. They can't drive neither. The Sting Bee, bro? The snowman ain't got no arms either. Or the Pokey. How do they want to cheap? You know, nah, skip doing somebody normal. We got the cow from the trailer. I don't know. Should I do the cow? We'll do the cow. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have the standard cart, normal, you know, the plush buggy, the zoom buggy, the charging truck. That's a hilarious pun. I actually love that. The baby blooper, okay, the rally car. Ooh, they got a rally car, like an actual rally car. Yo, that's kind of clean, bruh. A standard bike, what looks to be, the cute scoot. All right. We got the funky dory, the hunky dory, funky dory, okay. The mock rocket. And then we got the rally bike. So they have rally racing up here. Honestly, I like the rally stuff. That's kind of clean. And of course, other things we can of course unlock. I don't think it's just one cart. It's probably going to be an assortment of carts and stuff like that. Things to collect and customize as we go into it. And of course, we can take a look at the details for each respective cart here by pressing Y and, you know, just scrolling through them. And already I'm going to turn off smart steering. I don't want that stuff on me, bro. Auto use item, get the freak out of here. Tilt controls, nah, not for this time, although I do usually have them on. Vertical camera normal, horizontal camera normal, mini map, we gonna leave them on so we can dash food, like food, dashy food, like for Dashy, like the YouTuber. All right, let's see here. Transformations doesn't transfer. Okay, so I guess that gives you different costumes. I did see in the trailers where food would give you costumes if you drove into some restaurants. I'm probably we're gonna do the cow. I'm gonna commit to the cow. We're gonna commit to the cow, and I'm gonna put the cow in a rally car. His feet poke through, bro. Oh my gosh. You know, honestly, well, a lot of this stuff is really, really cool. A lot of this is really, really cool. You know what? I'm just gonna pick one. I'm not even gonna tell y'all which one I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna pick a Grand Prix, and y'all gonna have to deal with it. Cause I'm not finna just sit here and say, oh, we're just gonna go through the mushroom cup and give y'all a cute little tutorial. No, I'm gonna give y'all something that is strange and unusual, and you know what's gonna be weird and out of order. So y'all won't even know what it is I'm finna pick till y'all start seeing the stages. All right, here we go. Oh, they already driving. Oh, they already started. What the freak? Y'all started without me? Oh, they got us on a safari. Okay. Oh, they give us a little preview of the entire tour. Oh, snap. Oh, when they got beats straight from DJ Koopa up there. DJ Koops, bruh. What we got here? Okay. Who is that? Who is that? The Hamburglar, bro. Who the freak is that? Bro. Oh my. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get my bearings. All right. Okay. Oh, we got 20 some odd racers now. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute. So I'm in 18th place. Oh, it's short. This is a short track. Oh my gosh. I did not realize how short it is. Get out the way. Move. Oh, we got the Mega Mushroom back. Let's go. Come here. Move out the way. Flatten. Oh my gosh. How many? Oh, there. Oh my gosh, this is already chaos. Okay, already the rally car is an outside drift. I don't know what I expected. I picked a rally car. Of course it's gonna be outside. Who hit me? Oh my gosh! Don't turn me into a ghost. Homie, steal something from me. Thank you. Come on. Waluigi, come here. Okay, cool. He's out the way. All right, cool. Stun on him. Stun on him. Throw that. Get out of the way. Yeah. Sniped you. Come here. Oh, it came back around too. Come here. Get out the way. Woo. All right. Oh my. Oh, like it's actually raining. Wait, you use the lightning power up and it turns it to rain? Okay. We getting it. This thing. Okay. I should have thought more about choosing a rally car because being an outside drifter sucks. Come here. No. If it wasn't so far outside, I would have had that, bro. I was in the lead. I just was afraid to drift, and honestly, I probably should have just not drifted, and I would have been okay. Dang it. We already got replays too. Okay, that was chaos. Let me see what the replay is looking like. All right, so we can switch cameras. Oh, okay, so we can dynamic behind. Okay, so yeah, it's just dynamic or behind. Slow-mo. Just like how it was in Mario Kart. What the freak was going on with the... Hold on, take a look at the nose ring real quick. Oh, there we go. We got to see the we got to see the little double trick in action. Cool. Really, like looking back in the replay, 150cc is looking kind of slow. Not gonna lie. Okay, and I could full stop, pause it, and then just mowed through baby day. Dang! Oh my gosh! We have a dolphin on a dolphin. Both out of the water. What is this game? Either way, move. I got big on them. Bigums, you know what I'm saying? I almost flattened him. Monty Mole, get the freak out the way. Is that Waluigi wearing a do-rag? Wait! Look at him. He is fully do-ragged up. He's got the purple satin, bro. He's got the purple satin. And he's got fingerless gloves too. Waluigi's black. I don't know what to say about this game, bro. I have no idea what to say about this game, man. Yo, what in the... Oh my... They had me flipping. My car started smoking, bro. Oh my gosh. Here go Waluigi again with his freaking purple satin. Bro is stealing black swag 100%, bro. I don't know if he's trying to be vibey and swaggy with it or if he's just legit trying to steal it, but dang, bro. And you're just bumping the baby Rosalina like that. Get the freak out the way. Nobody asked you. Move, Lakitu. And then this bird from Super Mario 3D World, get the freak out the way, bro. He won. They gonna shock me, bro. I'm already finna be turning to ground beef after the end of this race. Y'all finna strike me with Zeus's lightning strikes too, bruh. Even God hates this cow, man. What the freak is going on? Look, if I didn't get caught in this little patch right here, I'd have had it. But this freaking rally car goes all the way out to Narnia when it drifts, because look at this. Look! He had full access to go around me, and there wasn't nothing I could do. I was right behind him. I was trying to steal the mushroom, but it didn't work. He's wearing a crown now. They crowned him. They made him a king, bruh. Oh my gosh. Next race. Come on, bruh. Dang. Fairway Oasis. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I forgot about this. They now finna open up the way for us so that we can make it from stage 1 to the next one. 2, 1. Bah! Here we go. Your boy just almost died. Oh, shoot. Oh, we have a full boat race. So instead of going underwater, we are on top of the water. Oh, shoot. Come here. Give me that. I'm on a pier now. I'm on the docks, bro. Dockside business. Boom. Oh, shoot. My Lunchables. No, let me get the Lunchable. Get the freak out the way. Lakitu, you weren't supposed to be part of this game. Give me that. Give me the meal. What we got? Man, I got a pizza. Give me that. I'm hungry. All right, come on. I'm finna peel out in front of these dudes. Oh yeah, Mega Mushroom. Not Mega Mushroom. The freaking the Golden Mushroom, the Kingdom Mushroom, the King Mushroom. Come here, give me the money. Give me the money. They got boulders and everything. Move. Oh, again? Oh, they loving your boy. Come here. Oh no. They hit me with everything. That's an armadillo. I just realized. Move. Oh my gosh! Everybody's passing me. Yo! They got the elephant stomping. We threw the savannah. And hit him with these fire flowers, bruh. Spit your mixtape at him. Move out of the way, Waluigi. Freak out of here, Spike. And throw this. Hit that dude who hit me before. Move! Oh, the zebra, bruh. Man, give me the money. Yeah, that's right. Stupid. You shouldn't have done that. Come here, Spike. And he took my banana. Dude was hungry. Oh, it's right into the next one. We already here. Oh, this is clean. Oh, this is clean. Throw that too. Take this. Take this. Bro, none of them hit. Are you serious? I stunned it 5 times on him. With the rail ride. Get on the... I couldn't get on that one in time. It is what it is, though. Let me get on this one. Ha! Ah! Right on, right on, right on. Trick on him. Wait, I almost went out of bounds. But that could have been a strat, though. Oh, that could have been a strat. I could have used that to my advantage to go out of bounds. Oh, I should think about that next round. Come here. Nah, it's okay. He'll eat another one of them. Like a 2. Give it to him. Wait. That was it? That was it? Wait, I feel like I only went around once. So it's getting to the next track that counts towards like 2 laps. And then it's going through the track that's 1 lap. And that's your 3rd lap. And so that's it. Okay. So now we gonna be on the freeway to the Crown City. I see how this works. Okay. Oh, wait. All of these are stickers that I have. I thought they were ones that needed to be unlocked. They are all ones that I already have. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Now we are gonna hit up the battle real quick. And we also got Lakitu because he won. So, okay, I see how this works. I see. So we and then we just got more of the alternate costumes and stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be some advancements to that. Donkey Kong ain't even playable yet. All right, who else we finna pick? Who else we gonna choose? All right, let's go with Mr. Krabs, bro. Let's go with Mr. Krabs over here, bro. We'll put Mr. Krabs in something that I'm sure he's gonna like, bro. Bro, he can barely even hold on to the cart, bro. What in the world? We'll put Mr. Krabs in the boat. We'll put him in the boat. So the only 2 that we have right now are Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. I'm sure they're gonna add all the stuff from Mario Kart 8, or they're probably unlockable some way. We'll do. Oh, you can select how many teams you want. Well, I'm gonna just do no teams with frantic items on the hard difficulty computer. With, you know what? Let's randomize the courses. We'll do for the sake of time, we'll just go ahead and do 3 rounds. All right, boom. Let's go ahead and start it. Awesome. All right, here we go then. Boom. All right, let's go. Oh shoot. They keep you nice and quick. Oh shoot, I'm nice and fast. Oh yeah. Let's leave this behind. Throw it in the mix. Never mind, that didn't do much. Throw it there. Got him. Ooh. You thought. Come here, Birdo. Let me. Oh shoot. Nope. Finna. Oh, I got somebody else. Cool. I'm gonna leave this right here. Yeah. Sneaky on them. Oh yeah, red shells. Come here, Yoshi. I'm sorry, I had to do it to you. But come here. Who else is that? Birdo. I think I got somebody. I got Peach. They thought they was finna get me. I'm gonna throw this to somebody. Turn it to a ghost real quick. All right, what am I doing? Okay. Well, got up a bomb. All right, cool. Leave it. I got somebody. Got my boy Koopa Trooper. Who am I gonna run into? Come here. I got a draft off of somebody. Give me that. Give me both of them. I stole them both, I think. All right, let's turn around real quick. Let's see who we can hit. Who can we hit? Bink. Stupid. Bink. Oh my God, I missed. Can I throw it back? I can. Oh, but it's only. Oh no! He hit me. Man, you know what I'm finna do? You took my. Oh my. Was that Bowser in a tux? Doug Bowser? For real? Oh my gosh. Bro, y'all robbing me, bro. Oh! Bowser Jr. in a tux too, bro? Doug Bowser's kid? No, come here. You thought you was finna get off scot-free. Nah, you gonna come back, you brat. Oh my gosh. That's it? I lost and it's over?
16th. All right, fine. Next round. Let's move on, bruh. That map was trash anyway. I'm playing. That map was pretty cool. I'm glad they're kind of bringing back some of these classic maps too. Is that a chain shop? Bro, what the freak? What are you? Oh my. Okay, so I'm sure we definitely don't want to fall in the middle there because that's instant death. We're going to stay around the outskirts real quick. Boom, there we go. Yeah. Banana. Okay, banana and one up fuel. Yo, stole my stuff, bruh. What? Ah, okay. Hit somebody. Yeah, good. I got somebody. Cool. Come here, Yoshi. Oh my god, I missed. Nope. You not finna catch me slipping. Oh,
let you get
never
the
mind.
chance.
That was this close, bruh. Nope. Wow, bruh. Are you serious? Man, move out the. Oh my. Yeah, good. I hit Toad. I did not hit Toad. Somehow he hit me. I think he had the little bass guy horn, the little beat bell, bruh. Come here. Good. Got him. Good. I got somebody else too. I got Toad with it. That's right. That's what y'all get. Trying to leave me in the dust. There's a train over there. Oh! Oh no! I just gave somebody a star. Man, I'm gonna need. Not from you though. I'm gonna need somebody's balloons, bruh. I'm gonna need somebody's balloons. Wow, they hit me, bruh. She hit me, bruh. Man, come here, bro. Wow. Everybody I tried it on, I got hoed, bruh. I got hoed. 18th. Oh no, your boy's gonna have to learn some strats. I'm 23rd overall. I'm next to last. I do like this little screen right here. Well, of course there is the big thing, which is the free roam, which we can access by pressing plus here on the start menu. Boom, and it just takes you right in with the character you were last playing as, and you can just explore whatever the world you want to. Literally whatever the world you want to. Like actually, like over here. Boom, just break that. Let me get the star real quick. And thank you. There we go. Now we got a star. Boom. Get out the way. There's actually quite a lot of cool looking stuff around here. I just jumped over that P-switch, bro. Tackle the chilly course on the lake. Okay. So these P-switches give you little mini objectives to do. All right, cool. So we finna... There we go. And and then hit him one more time with a Amazing! Hey, you cleared a mission and you got a stamp for it. I think that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. Hey, I see those snowmen up there, right up there by their huts. You know what I want to do? I want to go visit them. I want to see what their huts look like. And that's exactly what I intend to do. All I got to do is go up to the edge here, go ahead, hit a little sharp drift on them, go right back around. I mean, this is tickling every part of that childhood itch of like, wow, the map is so well detailed. I want to see just what it is that, you know, how much detail they put into this. And quite honestly, I mean, it's way more than I expected. You know, they don't really help you much, the snowmen, but if anything, you lose coins. But I mean, I still think that's pretty cool that they even put this amount of effort in here. Like, this stuff is just fully textured out. It has no reason to be rendered out like this and textured and stuff, but it is. And I think that little extra bit, though it's not really anything necessary or anything like that, I think it's a really cool, a nice addition to have right here. You know, the fire, break it. You know, you can jump up the logs and stuff just like that, use them as ramps. They really did go to the effort to make everything interactable or destructible or whatever it is that you want it to be. And you can see where some of these maps like intersect, you know, over here. Like, this is a normal racetrack right over here for DK Pass or DK Mountain. Yeah, this is DK Pass right here from the DS. Cut a left, cut a right. Oh, hey, actually, it's a little different.
Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet.
Oh! Well, either way, I mean, it's all still pretty cool. I mean, look at this. What is this? Oh, look at that. More lunch. Come here. Give me that. Oh! Wow, it doesn't matter. I just landed somewhere new. That's all it is. Boom, boom, boom. Give me that chocolate. I don't know what it gave me though. Maybe there's not a costume for me. Oh. Is that just a pedestrian Yoshi? It is. It's just a pedestrian Yoshi. They did not have to put this much effort into a Mario Kart game. But, you know, of course, you know, Mario Kart World is giving me, like, lots of tech demo vibes. Like, this is a playable tech demo, really. Like, if we really want to look at it, that's kind of what Mario Kart World is. This is Nintendo's proof of concept saying, look at what is possible with the Switch 2. And this is, you can have this on the go. This is in the palm of your hands with this much polish and quality. You know, this Yoshi isn't anything super spectacular, but to have him walking up this set path and continually going up the hill, that's pretty cool. And I'm sure he has a route. I'm sure he walks around the entire thing. If you want to follow him for that long, I mean, it takes him some time. He stops every like 20 feet to look around. But I mean, that's extra attention to detail that I think is just really, really cool. It's really, really solid. And then as you see right there, you know, as you drive, you get more thing. Oh, I see a little business over there. But let me go ahead and pick up this food real quick. Your boy ready for some takeout. Give me some of that. What we got here on the list? What we got here on the list? We got some kebabs. Your boy hungry. Money, money, money. Okay, so we got a few spots. So Yoshi's got his own diners, what it looks like. I see some things going on down there. Look at that render distance. Look at that render distance. That is really good. Look at that. Those are Daisy Hills right over there. I can go over to Daisy's Hills. Yoshi, Koopas can drive. There's a little drive-through Yoshi right here. Fully modeled, by the way, too. And I think the inside is, if it's not fully modeled, it's some really, really nice parallax effect. But maybe you eat a certain amount of them to get it. It looks like there is a day and night cycle. Stunt. Honestly, I'm finding this to be really fun. Look at that. Is that a hitchhiking Yoshi? He's on a camping trip. Look at him. They gave him a cute little backpack with a sleeping bag on it and everything too. Look at that. That is so adorable. Oh, we made it to the highway. Oh snap! I want to see, where does this highway take us? Where do we go if we get on this highway? And there's signs. They actually have stuff. What does that say? Live to race. Course ahead. Oh, that's cool. So it'll let you know when there's a course coming up. Boom. Ride the lines and collect the blue coins. Oh, and it just kind of kindly redirects you. Okay, I'm not gonna make it. I messed it up. Nope. Well, I can retry it, and I'm glad they have that, so you don't have to keep going back and forth and try to find it again. Very, very nice for streamlining this. Very, very nice indeed. Oh, I see a city over there. All right, cool. So I'm finna hop on this. Boom. Trick off of that. Boom. Do like this. Oh. Landed right back on it. Okay, you can kind of balance. I don't know exactly what the balancing does, but you know. Boom. Boom. Awesome. Cleared another mission. And it doesn't stop you anywhere either. There's a falling star, which end up being stars. Oh man, is this like Maple Treeway or something? Is Maple Treeway secretly like a little Japanese spot or something like that, or Chinese spot? This is cool. Falling stars. They got these little. Oh, it's Cheep Falls. Because Cheep are koi fish. Oh, that's cool. And you can see other racers going at it. Look at that. Look at that. There's the Wiggler up there. From here in the menu, we can actually change characters for the free roam. And if I wanted to, I could just go on ahead and switch to somebody a little bit more normal, like Mario or Luigi or somebody else. And we picked up a whole nother cart. Nice. And we just pick right up where we left off. Was that a Pianta? Oh, that's cool. When you ride into the off-road sections, you get some off-road tires. Look at that. They're a little larger. Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool, actually, all things considered. So even though we have, like, very, very sharp, almost gravity-defying areas here, they don't have a low-gravity kind of gimmick like they did in Mario Kart 8, which is a very interesting thing to omit. You know, I kind of was thinking, like, you know, what are they going to do after Mario Kart 8? Because, you know, typically it follows a linear path of, okay, we'll do a normal kart racer for, you know, however many entries, and then we'll do a transforming kart racer, which was, you know, the case for Mario Kart 7. And then, you know, we'll do zero gravity stuff where you're kind of like flying and stuff. And that was Mario Kart 8. And I was like, okay, what do you do from that? You just make them all rockets or something? But no, they found a really nice workaround where they've just kind of incorporated some ideas from everything else. And honestly, by giving themselves more limitations and reeling back on the craziness of the Mario Kart, kind of, you know, like what can we do to the kart to make it different? They decided to go for something that is, you know, completely and totally out of the blue. Like, nobody would ever expect an open world Mario Kart. It's one of those really, really like niche afterthought ideas of like, I wonder what is out there, you know, if you drive out past a certain point. I wonder if that bridge is actually modeled and textured, and now, you know, with a game like this, you can actually go and explore that kind of stuff. And I find that to be, personally, really freaking cool. I don't even have to stay within the confines of this lane here. I can go out here to these Big Berthas over here, bruh. And they just over here. It's a school of big old Bertha pufferfish, bruh. So minus is how you change it to picture mode, and you can go ahead and just kind of pose everything that how you want it to. There you go. Put them in that pose. 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 Yeah, there's a ton of poses actually. You get a nice little assortment of poses. You can also tilt the well, that's zoom, but you can also tilt the screen. So if you want it to be a vertical one for your phone background or something like that, you can absolutely do that as well. You can also change the focus, the focal length, of course. And there's a bunch of different frames that you can choose from right here. Oh, it looks like I'm sifting through some of the ones that are more intended for the vertical view. And we got some action lines. Oh, look at that. We got a newspaper, postcards. Oh, that's cool how it cuts into the background like that. That's really awesome. Stickers, basic one. Couple of basic ones, you know, MKTV. Love to see how MKTV is still a thing, you know. Oh, you can do kind of tricks while you are on plane mode. That is pretty cool. I like that. Drifting on the water. I mean, it just transitions like straight on over. Oops, there goes somebody's sandcastle. I was thinking you couldn't hold that drift continuing into the water, but you absolutely can. Dang, me and my car are faster than that shy guy. Hey, wait a minute. There is a... I did see something interesting right over here. This looks to be somewhere where you can stop real quick and take a little look-see. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, no, you can. Oh, you can get a view of the area. So this just kind of gives you a view of this particular area. Now, I don't know if this is on purpose, but it does kind of slow down the frame rate a little bit when you do it this way. It may just be so you can get some more dynamic images if you were to try to turn this into photo mode or something. Yep, just like so. All right, so realistically, where's the tolerance? When do they finally say, all right, no more. You can't keep traveling? When do they finally say, all right, that's enough fun. We're going to rein you back in? Oh, my gosh. They just keep spawning things to do out here. Oh, there we go. So eventually, Lakitu finally does show up and basically says, nah, that's it. That's about as far as you can go. I did expect that eventually, but I mean, hey, they really did let me go quite a good distance out, and they were still trying to spawn some activities and stuff, things for me to look at and do and see over there. So I kind of applaud them for still trying to give me things to do even at that point in time. You can really go sightseeing. Take a look at some of these toads over here. Toads and Yoshis over here, all ready for their little expeditions. Oh, Koopas use signals. For being an afterthought turned into a full game, I mean, this is really stretching out to be something that's actually quite enjoyably fun. Oh, would you look at that? Fire Bros can kind of skim fireballs on the water here. Oh, they're having a whole little camp out. Look at this shy guy with his giant bag on him. Ah, here we are. Finally made it to the Crown City right over here. Oh, hey, there we go. So we're finally putting some of that food to use here with Mario. And I'm just guessing that some of these characters don't have costumes yet, which is why, you know, we were just collecting food and it was really just not giving us much. But see here with Mario, we got a whole new little costume, you know what I mean? Out here in the city, you know what I'm saying? Hitting our little drifts on, you know what I'm saying? Oh, so you just run into pedestrian, you just get boosted up. Let's see, give me some more food. What we got here? We got pizza. You Italian Mario, you can have some. Honestly, there's a lot of love and care that they put into a game such as this. I would have never expected a game like this to even ever come to fruition. So to see them turn that like kind of small idea into something like this, I'm just running into stuff, aren't I? To see them like tackle something like this. Not really a throwaway game, because of course they put so much stuff into this game. This is something that absolutely could have been a throwaway idea that they did for like a course or something like that, but they decided to go the extra mile and make these explorable cities that are just, you know, that much more fun to ride around in. So far, I'm enjoying my time with the Switch 2. I mean, if we're gonna see more games that have the creativity and ideas and then the execution, such as we will here with Mario Kart World, I think we've got some promising things ahead for us, and you know, with other big Nintendo IPs like Pokemon and Legend of Zelda and especially Splatoon. You know, me being a Splatoon fan, of course I'm gonna say that, but to just kind of run around and interact with just about anything in any way in which you see fit, and then kind of being rewarded for exploring some of that creativity. Look at that. I had no idea there was going to be money in there. I just happened to go over there and see it. I feel like I am sufficiently being rewarded for, you know, wading my way around some of these places that I otherwise would have just, reasonably speaking, just passed up, you know, and look at that. I'm being rewarded by seeing the Shy Guys park their cars. If he steps out, that's going to be crazy. If he steps out of his car, that's insane. Oh my gosh. Bro, what? Oh, no. This is crazy. This is officially insane. I mean, I get it. It was kind of cheap how they did it. But you mean to tell me that potentially every single one of these NPC cars can just pull up into a parking spot at any point, hop out, walk around for a little bit, and then hop back in and keep going on their drive like it's nothing? That is crazy. That is insane. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty insane. Now, if I go over here, he's despawned, right? No! He's still over there. That's something they very easily on the Switch 1 could have just wrote off. They could have just said, nah, he's not going to continue walking. You know, he's going to despawn him, and it's just going to be like something where we see a loop or something like that. And look, all of a sudden he gets to the edge of the track, and now he's a fan of us. He does a little dance, and he keeps on walking. That's so cool. That kind of attention to detail, that kind of little extra stuff right there, never something I would have thought that I would have seen. But the fact that I see it, I mean, I'm enjoying my time. I'm really enjoying my time here. It's so easy to feel like you're wasting your time in an open world type of environment like this, especially with one that really does feel like a write-off concept. But to be rewarded by seeing a Shy Guy or, you know, any other little character get up and do something, and by waiting around long enough, that's awesome. Maybe for these little more like permanent little settlements right here, I'm not really fully expecting a Toad to just walk up and stand up and walk away. But the fact that now I've seen that the Shy Guy can park his car and then step out of it and walk around freely, I don't know, man. I feel like maybe if I sit around this campfire for long enough and it turns daytime, one of these guys will just step up and then walk away and continue on their little journey. Well, I mean, if I break the fire, now they're just like, hey, what's up, how you doing, you know, and they're just kind of cheering. I'm sure I'll come back around and, you know, the campfire will be there. So far, for the quality of the controller, to the size of the Nintendo Switch itself, to the fact that I'm experiencing this game right now in what looks to be 60 frames per second, buttery smooth, no frame rate issues. I mean, of course, there is, you know, the render distance is still one of those things. Whoa. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Oh. And there he goes. Well, you know what? I think I've reached a pretty decent point in time to go ahead and end this video off here on a pretty high note. I am, relatively speaking, pretty impressed with what they're doing here with this whole Mario Kart Tour thing, and with direction I think they're going to take the Switch to. Do I still have some reservations? Do I still have some concerns? And do I have some overall critiques of the system? Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I still think that giving me a download code for purchasing a system early, paying down, you know, putting a down payment on this system and expecting to get a game with it, and them giving me basically a digital code that they can rip from the eShop at any point in time, I still feel like that's a little bit lazy. It really kind of goes into the, like, do I own the games that I purchased? You know, that whole kind of territory is being tested here when it comes to purchasing games on the Nintendo Switch 2, especially when it comes to having to download a game digitally and then having a game key card just so you can play the game, so that you can resell the key card. I mean, like, it just seems like some extra steps that are unnecessary, really just to kind of disguise the fact that you're just buying a digital game that they can take off the eShop at any point in time. Now, Nintendo doesn't really have too many valid reasons to take their games off of the eShop, but knowing that that is a possibility, you know, for them to cut some costs if they need to somewhere, you know, cut off a few servers here and a few servers there, I feel like that can really dampen an experience. You know, unless I go out right now and purchase the actual physical game card from Mario Kart Tour for $80, by the way, this game very likely could go off the eShop in the next, 8 years when the Nintendo Switch 3 is going to come out, or whatever the next console is going to be. But, hopefully, we're looking to a brighter future so that we won't have to think about that kind of stuff moving forward. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the Switch 2 and what kind of avenues they're going to explore with this system. Anyways, I'm going to continue spending my time here just kind of vibing and driving, because I think that this game is pretty fun. So, yeah, until the next video, which is probably, in terms of the order, is probably going to be me covering the Summer Games Fest and the State of Play. So I'll see you for the news, and then after that, hopefully for my thoughts on Animal Crossing New Horizons, because that was the next planned video anyways. But yeah, with that being said, your boy is gone. Literally, I just got flipped. I got ran over by a car, bro. What the freak?